Hello, welcome to the stream, welcome behind my cloud. I'm Frank Boucher, and today we'll be working on the Azure URL shortener, updating the docs. There's a lot of change in that project, so I want to make sure documentation and everything is following. And that music on my side, at least, is way too loud. So I will do this. Voila. There it is. Cool. So yeah, so the plan of today is okay, there's an update on the GitKraken. So I want to read that with you. I want to work on the URL shortener, mostly doc, and maybe do a recap. So if someone watched the recording of this stream, then we'll have a little bit more context about the project and why we are updating all the doc and like mostly deleting a lot of stuff. But that's okay, because in Git you can go back in the version if something is missing and like pulling it back. So yeah. So welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome, Cloudies. Now it will be time if we go here. Now you should be able to do the drop. I know some people were waiting for that. AKA Fragbird. Does it work? Yeah, it's working. There it is. So let's add to do. Cool, it works. So let's add another one. What's a jolly song? July song? Julie? I'm not sure I understand, Gordon. Or maybe it's a joke and I don't understand. Welcome in Frank's world. Hey, Ivana Tilka, first time on the chat. Hello, welcome aboard, welcome. Oh, Ivana, I think, yeah, no, you, right? Sorry, I think it's I was commenting on that intro music. Oh, that was delightful. I don't know what it is. Like, back in the day when I was streaming a little bit more and like being way more active on YouTube, I got some money back and I don't want to keep that money. So I said, let's give it back to the community. So I went to Fiverr, found someone who was just getting started and asked them to do intro and logo and stuff like that. And CB was someone I saw on like I was watching Twitch stream. I like his heart, so I reach out to that guy and I ask him, hey, could you make me, some like a cloud? So and he did it. So that's what I do when I have money. I just spend it and give it back. Okay, so to do add, we want to update the doc. Update AzUrlShortener docs. There it is. That sounds like a big plan. And hopefully I have my phone running on the side, because hopefully my manager don't call me this morning. Okay, what should we working on? So yeah, let's to do I think it's start 1. I'll get back to, yeah, excellent. Okay, so yeah, I need to switch mouse. Excellent. So part of the things that changed Fragbird is now I'm running in Linux. Well, not change, but I'm kind of going back to when I start streaming. I was doing it on a Linux VM, and then things change. What change? Oh yeah, I needed to have Hyper-V, and so I couldn't have VirtualBox VM, and because they are conflicting, and in Hyper-V, the scaling, the resolution of the screen with Linux, it's not always the best. So I was like, so I kind of fall back streaming on Windows. But now I have a new little laptop. So what I do is I'm using that laptop. This is like this kayak screen with the grass is on my laptop. So it is Linux, it's Ubuntu. If I do this and I do, what is it again? NeoFetch. There it is. It's Linux. And I'm using my personal PC as a stream machine. So there it is. Oh, Linux nerds. Hey, Gumlore. Welcome aboard. Yeah, indeed. Long time no see. It's been a while. I've been trying to stream, but I wanted to do it with this machine and like having set up. Yeah, it was just, and it's been a long time. So I think when you start, it's just you know, getting that reflex. It's a bit harder. So one thing I want to show today is, you know what? Let's go full screen. Voila, boom. Is there's an update on GitKraken. If you don't know, I am a GitKraken ambassador. I'm not being paid by GitKraken. I just love so much that tool that I was using it, showing it in my stream, showing it in my videos. I was wearing their t-shirt, having their stickers on my stuff, and say, hey, do you want to be an ambassador? So I said, why not? So now I can bring back feedback. I could know a little bit in advance when they have updates, though I've been bad on that because I was a little bit tired of a lot of things, so I kind of disconnect a lot. But now I'm feeling better, so I'm adding more and more stuff, streams, like going back again at streaming. So and I want to see this. Unfortunately, I think I cannot play that video because I'm not sure the sounds. That's one of the things I was trying to fix earlier, and somehow if I change, like if I go in my settings, right now it's the output of the laptop is like the speaker, and if I change it to be like the display port, it sounds really strange, and I'm not sure why. We can give it a try though, but I'm pretty sure it won't be great. So I'm ready, not Linux nerds, but I'm running Linux on my dev environment. Ah, that's cool. As always on Linux, I miss things which are good on Windows. On Windows, I'm missing things. It's kind of a classic, right? So yeah. Do we do a test? Let's do a test. Let's change that again. Maybe it will be better. Did you hear anything? I didn't hear a thing.
Front right.
Let's pause the music.
Right, front,
Oh,
right.
that worked, right?
Front, left.
Cool. Front left. My speaker are not in the good. The left is on that side, and it should be. That's my right. Interesting. Interesting. That's why the music sounds always really bizarre. Left and right is also correct. Okay, well, not on my side, so it's my speakers. Need to change that, but not now. Okay, that's perfect. Then we can watch that video. Let's go on. Watch it full screen.
GitKraken client version 8.7 is here. With this release, GitKraken client now supports the ability to create and apply patches. There are 3 ways to create a patch.
Let's pause.
There are 3 ways to create a patch.
Oh, there's a huge delay, though. Do you end stand and stereo image will flip? Can you hear the video sound when it was playing? There's an echo. Oh yeah, it's probably my mic catching it. I don't know. Let me check. How can I do that? I will check my OBS setup. I'm sorry. It's been long to start this, right? Oh, I think I know. So if I do this, I think you won't have any echo. Let's try again. We'll restart it after.
First, users may create patches from commits. Right-click on a commit in the graph to access the new option for creating a patch. Click this option and the app will prompt you to select the save location for the patch file. From the graph, you may also use the Shift or Control key.
You can hear that, right?
Select commits, and then right-click on the selection.
I was not paying attention though, so I'm sorry. I will restart it.
Second, patches may also.
Okay. No, we only hear a faint version to the mic. Oh, damn it. Because if I do this, okay, I will cut my mic for a few seconds and play the video, see if you could hear it correctly. So I'm cutting my mic.
Patch. First, users may create patches from commits. Right-click on a commit in the graph to access the new option for creating a patch. Click this option and the app will prompt you to select the save location for the patch file. From the graph, you may also use the Shift or Control key to multi-select commits, and then right-click on the selection from here to access the option to create a patch from the selected commits.
Could you hear it now? Was it with an echo? I need to fix that. That's not fun. There was still an echo? Interesting. Okay then. Let's forget about that. I will figure that out by myself. I want to focus on the learning. Assuming there's a notes. I would like to full release note, so I could have it bigger. Big. I need to change those lights too, because you don't see my summer tan. Like blast. In the cloud, it make when I'm like this, makes sense. I'm in the cloud, like a lot of sun, but like this should be a little bit more darker. I could fix that easily. Okay, so that's enough messing around. So version 8.7 GitKraken now support patch from commit, patch from okay. I don't use a lot of patch, so I'm not sure what it is. Anyone know in Git what's a patch? I'm assuming it's kind of a quick fix when you change a commit after the fact. So click the create command option, app prompt, save location, a patch file. You may also use blah blah blah. But what's a patch? That's a feature I don't use in Git apparently. I don't know what's a patch is. I don't know what's a patch is. A patch are good if you accidentally commit the wrong branch. To the wrong branch. Oh yeah, okay. So you don't revert. You want to keep it there, but then like kind of do a quick fix. Go ahead and say, and then you can copy that commit over to the red branch. Okay, instead of like reverting and like pushing, you're just like kind of moving that change into a different branch. I don't do those kind of mistakes. I probably just use a way more complex workaround. Well, that's cool then that you could do that with the interface, because I'm assuming like creating the patch with the command line could be confusing. So now having just like a right click thing is pretty convenient, right? If I go here and I could say, yeah, I want to create a patch. From commit. That's cool. That's nice. I like that. And if anyone doesn't know GitKraken, because I assumed everybody does, and that's wrong from me. I'm sorry. GitKraken is a UI that helps to visualize your data. It's very pretty. To see like you're visualizing like your commit, your history, your compare. If you're taking two branch, you could watch the like, oh, this is the file that's changed. To make a pull request, a merge, you just drag and drop. Very convenient too. It's linked to GitHub. You can have team security, like the issues are also there. So see, I have all my issues here available, and there's a lot of issues. Never really use GitKraken, mostly CLI and JetBrains. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And you can attach commands. So if you're doing a lot of ADO, GitHub, Jabra, not Jabra. That's another thing, Frank. What's the? Not this. I want to see the. Integration is Jira. I don't know how to say that in correctly. Jira. I think it's Jira, right? So Jira, Trello, Bitbucket. You have many integration. It's pretty cool for that. So it integrate, know your stuff. You could use your SSH, different profile and things like that. It's very convenient. You could have workspace. Yeah, and you could have it for free. I think if you, I should check their latest policies or pricing, but from what I remember, you could use it for free if you're doing open source work, and otherwise you could also use my referral if you want. Where I am, just 1 second. I think exclamation point reference. Oh, referral. Let's put back the music. Is it this? Rolls. Yeah, there it is. You could have one. You could use it. This will give you points. Give you. They do like a withdraw once in a while, so you could have the chance to win something. That's always cool, and it's real. They do it for real. Shirley Dev, who's the one doing all the bots thing on this channel, win a Switch long time ago. So it is really working, and for me, I'm not receiving any money from there. I receive points. With the points, I can have stickers, and what I do. What I have stuff, give it back. I even have t-shirts, but they are all smalls. So if you wear small size t-shirt of GitKraken, ping me and we can discuss. Because most of the people I know need large or bigger. Okay, left panel improvement. The left panel now has a context menu to toggle visibility in the different section. Oh, I love that. Can I? Okay. GitHub. Ah, okay, that's exactly. I just tried it naturally a few seconds ago. That's cool. So we can have section. That's very interesting. So if I go here and I'm there and I say, you know what? Like, I don't want to see submodule because I'm not using it. That's cool. So most of the time, that's nice. I love that. So I could remove themes except for the open source project. So on my personal project, I don't have that. I could clean up that. That's pretty cool, right? Oh, you cannot see it. Frank, you are in the way. See, so now you have an option, and let's say submodule. See it disappear from here. That's pretty cool. And look, I'm not looking at the good direction. My second screen over there, but I didn't flip myself in the screen. Okay, let's continue. That's cool. Update the UI and layout for a new tab. Oh, that's cool because it needed a little bit more love. So when I do plus, oh, that's clean. I like that. That's way more clean than the previous version. That's good. Congrats, GitKraken. That's cool. One thing I need to learn better is the workspace thing. Like, I didn't spend enough time trying to wrap my head around that. It's very convenient if like you want to swap environment, I think. I'm not sure. In the new GitKraken CLI is pretty cool, but yeah, even get the GitHub CLI. Anybody's using GitHub CLI here? Any feedback? I think I used it once to create. Instead of going to the GitHub website and do like click in the interface, I did like, okay, GH repo new. I created that way, so I didn't need to open my browser. That's lazy, right? Fragbird, you like say, yeah, I don't feel to swim like 1.5 kilometer this morning, and I was like, yeah, I don't feel to open my browser. Who's the lazy one? Nope, I think a long time ago once installed a GitHub tooling and then never used it. Yeah, it's very powerful though, but I think right now I'm using a lot of Visual Studio Code extension or GitKraken, and sometime, let's say I want to what's the good, refresh my fork, so like bringing back the change from the upstream, then like I will go and do like pure GitHub git command. But yeah, it's pretty convenient. Opening around the time is rough. Yeah, indeed. Oh man. Oh, that's cool. I like that. That's clean, right? You like that? I think it's cool. Repo alias terminal. Oh, that's nice. GitHub desktop GUID create repo for me. GitHub desktop. Okay, yeah, that's cool. That like, so GitHub desktop GUID or like GitKraken is the same thing. I'm not sure if GitKraken can create repo though, but maybe it can, and I just never did it through this tool. But it doesn't intend to replace everything. It's just like a helper to visualize, you know, because you don't want to have the blame spot on you, right? So now they have terminal. Yeah, I'm not like using a lot of those terminal, but now you can have alias. An alias for a repository, right-clicking the repo tab and put names. Really? Let's go do this. Oh, that's small. That's so small. Okay, let's do that. So cd dev GitHub. Okay, let's go there. And now they say GitKraken graph, right? Oh, that's cool. We have a show the commit graph. Sometimes it's easier to have a command that chain multiple command than a visual, and also like if you're using that tool and want to integrate it somewhere in a deployment and things like that, it's useful. But it didn't work. Okay. Oh, okay. So that was the thing. So by default, it showed a graph. Oh, so it's a mix of the two. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like that. I'm not using it a lot, honestly, the CLI, because when I go to GitKraken is really to visualize and drag and drop or understand what's happening, because I don't have the big picture in like where in fact, I know there's command to have the graph and everything in Git, but I always forgot what it is. So I use GitKraken for that. And I was a big fan also of the boards, but they are retiring the board, so I'm trying to not use it anymore. But I liked so much those boards. Okay, fuzzy search. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so you can have like the okay, interesting. So I could go GitKraken history. Okay, history, and then test. What? No. What was it? What did not work? From the GitKraken CLI, you may now use a fuzzy search to drill down on a file name. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. So like, yeah, okay. Now I understand. Okay. User may now search tab by repo alias in the tab list. Oh. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, here. Oh, that's cool. And now if we have like tons of tabs open, you could just say, yeah, I want to see the alpha version. Oh, cool. Or I want to see tiny. I love that. But I'm not one of those guys who open 10,000 tabs, as you can see. I'm one of those guys. New branch. Name branch when creating a branch from issue. Ah, that's cool. I like that. Why you gotta call out like that, right? I didn't. Did I? I don't know. I like it very clean. As you can see, like I like everything. Like, can you see any icons over there? No, because I like things very. Except here, right now, it's a big mess. but because we were doing home renovation at the other room, so everything moved here. Okay, so name branch. Oh, that's cool. I love that. That's the way. I think I have a. I forgot what it is. Ah, that's sad. I want to change that. Come on. That's not cool. How can I change this? Okay, if I do this and I say, is it? I forgot what it is. No, huh? Yay! Do I have an applause or something? I forgot what kind of noise. I have sounds. Oh, I have this. Fantastic! That's even better. Okay, love that. Bravo, GitKraken. Okay, Git LFS performance improve. On top of the performance improve, GitKraken release client base more booster, faster performance, cloning LFS repository. I have no clue what it is. With submodules. That's cool. I was thinking of in the future of this tool, the AzUrlShortener. I was thinking of wow, I need to change that. We'll keep it. I see myself with a delay and it's confusing. Yeah, I may no. You know what? I don't like that. I was hoping it will help me because then I could type in the chat quickly, but nope. Large file system. Thank you, Gordon. That's cool. Clone. You're my glossary today. Awesome. Well, I like that. I think it's a very good update. Very happy about it. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, if you want to give it a try, use the referral, ! Referral or referrals, because I'm good with typos, so I create 2 comments and give it a try. Let me know. Let them know that you like them or give feedback. Make it constructive. If it's a little bit negative, they are very receptive and active. They have also a Slack and a Discord. I've been bad with Discord. I'm sorry if you've been to my Discord. Like I said, I stop a lot of activity. I'll get back there. Okay, so this is done. See now, I don't have the chat. If I do this, can I do to do done 1? Did it work? Yeah, cool. So now we can change this and do to do start 2. There it is. Okay, so today's work, 35 minutes later, but I was so excited to see you all. That's the reason, right? And I'm glad we took the time to look at GitKraken. I think it's a great tool. Anyway, so project of the day is AzUrlShortener. So, a little while back, I was doing a lot of YouTube video. You can go see my website if you're interested. I do videos in French and English. And on those videos, I share links. And nobody remember a very long URL. So I think I have an image of that. See? So you could shrink. You could shrink the URL. And I know there's Bitly and there's other stuff that exists. But then you don't own perfectly the domain name. You could pay for it if you want to have the domain. And your sources somewhere. So if Bitly stop their services, or now like you need to pay, there's no more free tier, then you're kind of stuck, right? You lose. So I thought it would be interesting to have something, and at the same time, well, it was a good project to kind of walk the talk. Let's try to use Azure and what kind of services we can use to have our own URL shortener for pennies. So that's why I created this, and honestly I just created for me, and now I have a few people who are using it. So I have a few like fork and like stars and like bunch of issues because people are reaching out. Even internally at Microsoft, people sometimes are reaching out, hey, we would like to use your tool. So that's very nice. But now it's a little bit broken because, you know, Azure grow up. I was using preview technology, or like very early GA, so general availability of services in Azure. So now it needs to be fixed. So there's two parts of that tool commonly used, or that I focus on. So there's the URL shortener. The URL shortener is an Azure function. I think I have a diagram somewhere. Where is it? How to use it? I think I have a how it works. There it is. How it works. Do I have a, yeah, there it is. Okay. So I have a function app. I will need to change that. So the previous version was you had, is it, should I go bigger? Let's go bigger, and I will go in that corner. It's over there. So previously you had an Azure function that run on in the consumption mode. So you have 10,000 calls for free by month. So what it does, when you call it, passing the short version of your URL, let's say project, then you will hit the URL redirect, and that function here will go check in blob storage. So Azure Blob Storage, it's a storage, very, very, very budget friendly in Azure. So again, I think it's 10 cents by gig by month. So it will go there, get with that, I call that the vanity, so that key shorter version of URL, and then return the longer. So if you do that CSA, what was it again? It was c5m.ca/project. I think it's that project. If you try that, it should bring you to the I could do it here, right? c5m.ca/project. I think it will open, yeah, the GitHub project page. So that still work, but then you need an interface to create, update, to see the statistics, because obviously a lot of time we are interested, hey, you know, the last blog post I did or the video I did, like, did people clicked on it and stuff like that. So you want to see the statistics, the clicks, because every time someone click, then I had the +1. So like you need an administration interface, and in that version, all the functions, so the Azure function was really an API with all the functions. So you want some kind of security, right? Because you don't want people to update. I don't want Fragbird to change all my URL just for fun. So I needed security. So what I did is I built an administration interface using the Azure Static Web App, and it was very new when I did start. So this interface, I did it. We can have a glimpse of what it looks like here. I use .NET. It was .NET 3.1, I think, using Blazor and WebAssembly, and I was pushing that into Azure Static Web App. So it is fantastic and great. And I was also using Azure Active Directory to secure a website. And when you deploy, it was a little bit complex because then you have two websites and then you need to pass the token of security, let the security of the Azure, like the backend, the API, accept that external token. Like it was a little bit more complex. So deployment was a little bit more complex. And I was hoping that in the future I could simplify that. Because this tool is really intended to be accessible for everyone. That's really, I want it has budget friendly. Like I don't want to say cheap because cheap sounds bad, right? So budget friendly and simple. So that's why I'm changing it now. I would never. Narrator. Yes, he would. See? I'm sure no, but it will be very tempting on a non-important URL to make a joke, right? Like I'm presenting and then like going to Fragbird's blog instead of mine. So yeah, so what I did, the big change I did is the URL shortener will be stripped of a lot of things. So the URL shortener will just be a read-only URL redirect. So if we go back to that how it works diagram, so maybe we should also work on that today. Maybe we won't have time, but this diagram now, so this Azure function, the Azure AzUrlShortener, will only have this one, the URL redirect. So that can be public because it's only reading and adding +1 to the click you have. So I don't need, like it's very specific. You don't create new URL, you don't delete new URL, you don't see the stats. You're just like doing a call, like saving information and reading information into the Blobstar. So I think that's secure to have just like this normal security level on Azure function. I don't need to have different permission level depending on who you are and stuff like that. So I think that would be much simpler for that one. So I wouldn't really yeah. So we'll do that. So what I did, I took the occasion to update the version of .NET because, you know, Azure was .NET, what I said earlier, 3.1, I think it was. So I updated to 6.0. The Azure function now are isolated. So that's pretty cool. So it means it doesn't care about the framework around it, though, like I'm using Azure function version 4. But now, like, they are independent. They are not attached. They don't depend on the Azure whatever. They are isolated, though there's a few impact. Usually when you use an Azure function by itself, it's an API, right? So you do, let's say, I was saying earlier, what do I have for notes? Do I have like clipboards or notes, or I don't want to open necessarily my OneNote. Oh, text editor? Text editor should be good. Oh, I should have opened Visual Studio Code. Frank! Close folder for now. Open a new file, make it huge. So, okay, let's say this is huge. So let's say this is my my website, and let's say like before I wanna call this URL. Of course, there's the HTTP and blah 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 blah. Though now, if you're calling the Azure function directly, it will be c5m.ca, and the c5m.ca, by the way, is cloud5minute.ca, so that's the domain I'm using. Otherwise, it's Azure function. I forgot the name. Like, you have a fancy name that finish by application. I forgot what it is. We could go in the portal and see what it is exactly. But then you have something like API and then URL redirect. And then you will pass project, right? But we don't want people to type all that. We want a URL shortener, so we need to, by default, anything that is getting to this, we want to default to this call. And then whatever follow here, whatever follow here is the vanity, right? I said we call that the vanity. So I want something like that. So when people type the first one, I want automatically to use that. And before I was using a proxy. So let me show you. If we go here in the code and source shortener, I was using a proxy file here. So that was, oh, you know, I should have done that right away. Like, this is how you see it, right? So the backend URL, so by default, everything that was going in was default to root, and then this, and was just like redirecting to that. But proxies are not supported anymore in the new version. And if you look into documentation of Azure Function Isolated, they say, hey, use API management. And I was like, cool. Like, it's been a while I didn't use API management, so it will be nice to get back into it. And API management is fantastic. You could scale, you could reorganize your API. If you have different API, you could package them together, rename them, like have documentation. Like, it's a fantastic tool. But I don't think you can change the root. Hey, Jason. Welcome aboard. Oh, and I miss Gordon. I'm working on a Blazor WASM plus function plus tab storage site at the moment. It's a delight work, but I haven't worked out. Yeah, but like with the new right now, like, tag along, because in the next project that I will be talking about in a few seconds, I will be using security, and it's the new flavor of a static web app. Not a few flavor, but you know, Azure Static Web App has been there for general availability, so GA. So that's an important milestone in the service in Azure. It's been 1 year, so now it's very stable. Security is embedded, very easy to use and stuff like that. So now I'm all shy because Jason joined. So what I was saying is proxy, so defaulting to this in API management, I think it's not possible. Because initially I was like, oh, cool. So what I will be doing is we will be deploying an Azure function without proxy file because it's not supported anymore. And then we'll have a domain name, but unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on, so like I said, the priority of this project is to have something that is budget friendly and for everyone. So I'm assuming I'm taking decision so the cost is as low as possible. Okay, so in the free tier of the Azure function, you only have a domain that starts with www. So you would need to do this. Let's put a few white line here. So you would need to do www.c5m.ca/project to use the URL. So the URL is trap, right? It's catch by the Azure function. I don't want that either, because nobody type anymore www except my grandma maybe, and even then, I think she doesn't anymore. That's so 90s. So if you pay forgot the name of the SKU, but the lowest tier of Azure function, you could have a naked domain. Naked domain means it's like this, right? HTTP straight your domain. But like I said, I'm assuming I'm taking decisions, so I'm assuming you don't want to pay anything. So that's why we use Cloudflare. And with Cloudflare, we could have routing. When something arrives with www, we reroute it to this. And I'm planning to also make it so when it's getting in like this, it will do the proxy for us. So that's my plan. I didn't test it yet. Pretty sure it will work. Otherwise, we'll be screwed. Initially. So yeah, so that's the status right now, okay? And so the code is done. The code is done in the project. My repo is alpha AzUrlShortener because I was looking for a safe place where I could strip everything down and just deploy and like no delete anything by mistake. And I also use dev container. That was also a part that I was looking for. I'm using heavily now containers for multiple reasons. Anyone is using dev containers? Curious? Raise your hand in the chat if you use dev container. That's for me like it's a big haha of last year when I think it was with you, Jason, when we start that for the first time, the thing. And anyway, since then I'm using more and more and more. I love it. I love it so much. Well, yeah, so let me know in the chat, and we can geek out a little bit about why it's cool, or maybe you're not interested, so I won't geek out too much about it. But if you are interested, let me know. Raise your hand, do something in the chat. We'll be talking about. So this is a project. So the plan of today is to take that code, bring it back to the branch, let's say v3 or vnext of the real URL shortener, and start cleaning documentation, because like I showed earlier, the diagram is not make sense anymore. I should remove the glow board because unfortunately like it will stop being, I think it's just next year, but you know, I shouldn't be using it anymore. So I need to update all that. And the next step, and that's where Gordon trying to understand Lashring. I'm trying to understand like your beginning of your name. How should I read it? Because I say Gordon because that's the part of your alias that I understood. The next project will be editing. So by default with the Azure URL shortener, like there's no editing, right? If you want to create a new URL, there's way, but there's no pretty way. So I have a list of stuff that the community did. What's happening? A new follower. Is it? Is Mr. Jabin? Mr. Jabin is here. Welcome. Thank you for the following. And Brendan Robert also followed earlier. I missed that. I'm sorry. Hey, you're back. Indeed, I am, my friend. Welcome. Happy to see you. So many. I missed that. I missed that so much. Okay. I cannot express how happy I am to see you all there. Step. Okay, tiny blazer admin. I thought I had like more page. Okay, here. So let's open that in a different browser. Not different browser, different tab. Am I getting better now, Fragbird? See, I have like 5 tabs open now. One is empty. Does it count? Okay, so front end. So by default, you could use Postman if you... No, you won't be able to use Postman. See, that's not true. You could use... Oh, I don't even show it. So you would be able to use Azure Storage. So if I do it, I have it here open somewhere, right? Yeah, storage. Okay. So it's small. Can I make it bigger? Zoom in. There it is. So what you could do is connect to your storage. Right, go in tables because we're using tables 5. Your self-control. Okay. Like I'm just getting started. So now this is the table we are using. Okay. So like you could see the clicks and stuff like that. So you have the information when it was created, like the row key, partition key, like the title and stuff like that, and if it's archived. So like this is our database. Unable to establish connection to the... Okay. And if you want to create a new one, well, you just click add, and then partition key should be the first letter, the first character of your row key. That's what the code will be doing. And then you put the long URL, a title if you want, you click insert, and that's how it works. So by default, AzUrlShortener will be that. However, because you're all very incredible, a few people created different, like someone created a flow, SharePoint list, and PowerShell command, just calling the function to create stuff. So I intend to have fun and try. We will build our own CLI. So it will be the AzUrlShortener CLI. I have no idea how we'll do that and everything, but that's in my... I even have the GitHub repo ready for it for I don't know how many years, but I want to do that. So the goal will be to do all that. The first one will be to leverage the tiny Blazor admin web page, and that's this one, right? The WebAssembly static web app. And I did a great work on that, and we make it compilable. It's compiling on the last stream if you want to check. If you go behind my cloud, is it behind my cloud? If you want to see the status of that, yeah, it's there. So in there we did work. We just made it work, or you could just go and alpha. That was even for me, that was way too Frenchy. Repository alpha 4 days ago. So I keep coding in that without off stream also, but in there, like right now, you could list all the URL. You could create one of the URL, but without schedule. Like so, I'm adding more functionality, but right now there's no security. Yeah, well, depending on like what kind of so for me, like even that the first letter is not necessarily the best one, because I tend to share a lot the stuff about Azure, so it will be a lot of A. It will be I'm sharing a lot also. I'm using that for my reading notes on my blog every Monday. Oh, no, see, Frankie's notes. So on my blog, like I share my reading notes every Monday, and I usually create a new URL for that, and it will be capital R, capital N dash, and then the number. So this one will be 514. Though I didn't create a URL for that one this Monday because I forgot. So like it will have partition key a little bit bigger, but at the same time, like I'm just one guy, so I don't think it will have a real impact. So it's good enough. So depending on the type of, and like I said, like for me, the row key is the vanity, so it's the shorter part of the URL. And I will create a partition. So depending on like the value of that row key or something like that, you would like to fan out a little bit more. What's the word? Every partition be a little bit more populated, equally populated. This better to have a better distribution. Whew, vocabulary. But yeah, first character is kind of an easy win. But you know, like if you were saving first name or something like that, then you know some letters will be very populated and others not really. So it depends on like what you're based on, and also depend on how big is your storage. Like for me, I don't intend to create 1,000 new URL by day. But if I was Microsoft, I would probably have something a little bit more robust in terms of partition key. But it's good. Maybe I would have the year, or like depending on what it is. So in this tiny Blazor admin website, now what the plan is, we won't work on that, but just want to share about it because Gordon, you say you were working on that. So that one now, what I'm doing is I want to, like from a user point of view, it would be the same. So that's the first thing. I don't want anybody to feel any difference. I will be still using Azure Active Directory, but it will be the new embedded version of it. So because now it is available. When I did create that thing, it was in preview, so identity was not fully part of it. Now it's totally there, so that's pretty cool. But then I'm using the Azure function part of that static web app, not another one, not an external one. So I don't need to pass the security and everything, and that will simplify the deployment of this tool, because now like you just deploy it, you go in the portal. If you want to have roles or things like that, you can manage this, and eventually we could even have like an admin version of that, and it will work way much easier, I think, because you know we don't want people to go in the portal and customize things. But like I said, iteration, going fast, try to make it easy. Another thing is security. Oh yeah, so initially I thought I will just use static web app and everything will be there, security will be cool. But then by default on a static web app, I cannot default on the Azure function. That's why I still need the other project. I cannot just use the tiny Blazor admin. I need the other one also. And I was a little bit sad about that, because I was that could be cool to have a proxy or like something like a route to default and always point by default to the, remember the API/URL redirect? I said that would be perfect. So people hit my domain name with like whatever, and then I will be rerouting to the Azure function inside of the static web app, and that will be wonderful. But it's not supported yet. Like it's a thing that is in their feature, their to-do list. I'm not sure of how high it is in the priority, but I think it could have been very useful, but it's not right now supported, so that's why we're in the need to have like a standalone Azure function. So in that next release, the function here, the URL shortener, will have everything. And yeah, and we'll be able to then have a tool if we want to connect into it. Security will be using security. And with that, we'll have all this. And if we can connect to the API, then having our CLI or having, I forgot the other tool, like Flow, or whenever creating new URL, if you want to batch create URLs, you'll be able to get there just by specifying the full path. Yeah, so that's the plan. But for today, so that was the demo. Any questions? Was it clear, Gordon? Did I cover stuff? So you could edit. You see the statistic here. Deployment will be very also. I'm looking forward to have a very simple deployment, kind of a one-click deploy. Except, at least for the URL shortener, we will need to go in Cloudflare. So just to, but we have documentation. So if you go in deployment, step-by-step deployment, and at the completely end of it, I had like adding a custom domain. If you follow these steps, so I have this. I explain how to do it. And even that, I was following my instruction. I got confused at some point and was like, oh, I need to change that. Everything is there, but it was just confusing. I was like, what I'm trying to do? So you do that. You had the certificate. Certificate is free, so that's pretty cool. So you have HTTPS. See, like, I'm explaining this, but then like I was looking at that screen. I was like, no, like, it's free. You could just click here. So I think I just move around the text and the images, and you put everything. And then in Cloudflare, like I was saying, you do this, you do page rule, and we'll be at like having the specific rule. Where is it? Here. So here, when we have the redirect, instead of just having this, we'll go and say, okay, this .api.url, the redirect, and that should work. So that's the plan. But now, so that's your AzUrl. So see, Fragbird, I can close the tabs. So AzUrl shortener, we don't need that. Tiny Blazor and Min, we don't need that. Alpha Tiny, no. Alpha URL shortener, yes. Oh yeah, I need the other one. Whoops. And now you would say, this is why you don't close them, Frank. And would say, yeah, you're right. It's just a joke. Was anticipating your landing, Fragbird, because it looks very promising. Ah, so close. So close. Come on, it was looking promising. Seep. I forgot. Is it Pascal or Patrick? Mr. Jobin. I think it's Pascal, but no, I'm not sure anymore. And Jason, I think Jason, you will. Pascal. Okay. So close. So yeah. So now let's do a to-do. To-do done. And we finished 2. And we'll be starting to do start number 3. Like, there's so much stuff I want to change on the stream. Like, those to do, they're way too small for me, and I would like to maybe bring them, they will be bigger, we change that and we'll push them aside or something like that. I don't know, I feel like, or maybe I should have like an interface on my local so I could edit them quickly instead of like pulling the chat, having an interface, pushing it there, and I don't know, like I feel like, and like if you want to interact you could use the function, but like I should have a way to not spam the chat like that, even if it's good matrix on Twitch, because there's a lot of activity. Like I'm not streaming to be a Twitch superstar. I'm streaming because I miss Fragbird and Mr. Jobin and Gordon and Jason. But Jason, I see you a little bit more often. So I'm not saying I'm not missing you. Okay, so this is our code here. Nobody asked details about... Hey, thank you so much. Gordon, thank you for the cheers. Always appreciated. Nobody asked details about dev container, so we'll stay quiet about that feature. But I'm telling you, it's really cool. So what I want to do is take that code and bring it into the other repo. So what I think I will do is let's go here, open this, right? So I think I will have a branch here. I have so many dependency, dependabot. I'm out there. I'm out here. Yeah. Oh yeah, I should bring you back. You know what? I'm not sure I have my scenes ready for you though. But if you want, I will spend time if you're interested. Let's chat out of stream, offline. And if you're interested to show up as you did in before, I can have the scene ready and you ping me. And but I don't think I have anything ready right now for you to join. But I'm still open to the idea if you want. So yeah, so I think dev experiment. What's dev experiment? I have no idea what it is. Who knows? So I think nope, not issue code. I think we'll create, and I feel like that's v3, right? Because we are in v2 right now, are we? Release. Let's go see the release. Can I just go v2 instead? No, I think v2 is already there. Since I'm changing so much, I feel like v2, saying v2 is yeah, no, don't worry, Jason, I won't bring you without notice. Yeah, I think because like it's a major change, we are stripping out so much functionality, so it needs like a major thing. Or maybe should I go 2.5? What do you think, chat? Should I go version 3 or version 2.5? Because we're removing a lot of things, right? And version 3 though seems like this tool have been, although like it's been a while, like, you know, that's the release. That's not even the first version. I'll support more statistics. That was the one I was working on. When did I create this? Do we know when I create that project? I'm assuming if I check the stats of the repo. Oh, anyway, so I think I will go with v3. So it's kind of a major change. So what I will be doing is creating v3, and then I will start by just excellent. I agree with you, Gordon, and that's a little bit why I was just feeling guilty that, you know, that's a tiny project, and I was just at the beginning of v2, and then like, yeah, v3, but at the same time breaking changes, so it needs to be kind of a And that's the exact reason why we went to V2, because we were using identity instead of just like a user password and strings. Okay, so we'll do that. So I will keep everything. So I think I have the both environment on my machine. So I will move the code into source and we'll do that. Okay, so let's go back in the folder. Let's go back. Let's reduce this because that was big. Even me with my old eyes, I could see everything. Don't save. I'll close this. And I want to come here. Dev, GitHub, and I want the alpha shortener. Cool. And I want another one. New window. There it is. Dev, GitHub, FBoucher, AzUrlShortener. Voila. And now we will go here. Now there's multiple stuff, so we'll remove that. Yeah, we'll remove all this. Yeah, and we'll create another place because I don't want to lose all the work that other did. Okay, so but now I need to change my oh, it was already open, damn it. Okay. How do I close? Okay. So here we create the URL. Oh no, tiny. No, I don't want this. I keep closing the tab. I'm trying Fragbird, but I keep closing them. Open a repo. I want. Sorry. Okay, so here I'm in main. That's good. That's where we want to start. And the AzUrlShortener, that's where we want to create the V3 branch. And yeah. So here in local, I only have main. On remote, I have tons of beep there. So I think I will call that vnex-v3. Because I want to keep the vnex stuff. I was working on more stats and things like that, so I think I want to keep that, so I don't want to lose track of that. Dev experiment, I have no clue what it is. Oh, it got merged. It got merged, so we can delete that. Merge, pull requests. Was updating docs. Why it's an experiment then? I'll keep it for now. Okay, so we want to create a new branch. Yeah, so create a branch. I said I want to call it vnex and then dash v3. Right? Right. So now this branch is checked out. Cool. So now I want to remove the admin tool because that's all the tool that others did, so it's not so like I mentioned, this project I want it super clean with nothing. It's pure read-only and everything, and admin tool are creating stuff. I will create a new place where we'll bring back this code, but in the next release, right now we're working on the vnext, right? So in that vnext, I don't want that, so I will remove that. I feel bad because that was, but I will bring it back. So yeah, I shouldn't feel bad. Move to trash. Okay. So now this, with in all that glory, I'm ripping off everything. Right? Because in source, I want this. Yeah. So this, move to trash. Ugh. And now this, copy, paste. Cool. And in here, deployment. I think properties. Wait a second. I want the alpha AZ. Okay, if I do ls, oh yeah, if I do again src, and then I do ls, and if I do ls -a, wait, what? Let's open that folder. Yeah, I have dev container. Why don't I see it here? Okay, so level up. Okay, cd. Okay, it's there. So here at that level, okay, how can I forgot where it is. Show hidden file, there it is. It's me, show me everything. Okay, so here I have the dev container. Here I don't have it. No, I don't have it. So I want to also copy the dev container. There it is. I want to keep the same GitHub. I may need this one. I think I will need this. Yeah. Yeah. Copy, and I'm, instead of using the keyboard, I'm using my mouse, so you can follow, replace, voila. Great. What are you working on? I'm working on stuff. Do I need to do a time log? I don't know how to do a time right now. One thing I didn't try, oh, let's do this. If it was super nice to see you, Fragbird. Have a good day, and I wish you get your target swimming. Have a good weekend. We don't see a lot of the clouds though in this setup. The rain is too loud. It's funny, but then I don't wanna. I think it's sun to bring. Yeah, Gordon. And now they are coming back to white. I think you could do it. If you do exclamation point rain, it will start raining. I'm not sure if it was just a command for me. I think I left you the control on that. And it's sun to bring back the cloud on the white side and yeah. Okay, so we have this. So now if I go back in the AzUrlShortener, have tons of activity. Woo-hoo. Right, ton of stuff. So now we could try to compile it, and we could try to run it. Thunder. No, oh, it didn't work. The rain. Maybe it was just me. Oh, was it the thing you could use with your points? I forgot. Oh, I think it was N10 to be this way, but I never finished it. Like I wish I had more time. Even like CB. Did we see CB today? Forgot how to show. Is this? So yeah, I wish CB was different. I would like to rewriting, like I was saying, maybe in C# or like properly in TypeScript. Though I did intend to learn TypeScript, and yeah, okay. So all that. So now what I would like is, so it should compile. So you know what? Here that's the alpha. So I don't want this one. Let's open a folder. I want to open this one. Yeah, let's open this. Yeah, open in a container. Cool. Let's try that. Any big plans for the weekend? I'm going kayaking tomorrow with a group, a club. My daughter doesn't like when I say club. Christmas in July tomorrow? Oh yeah? Okay. Are you not like a week in advance? Yeah, it should be the 25th, right? That's okay. Close enough. Well, good for you. That's good. So with all the family, or like the big family and everything. Gimlor, 2 weeks vacation starting tomorrow. That's pretty cool. That's amazing. No concrete plan, will be improvised vacation time. Good. You mean staying at home and chill, or you don't know anything. You're just like, it start tomorrow and we'll see what you do. Big group of friends. Love that. Love that. That's the best Christmas. And after 2 years of COVID, I think felt so good. I had the opportunity to travel to the headquarters and meet my colleague, meet Jason and all the other, and it was so good to see people. So right now it's a little bit long because it's the first time I'm opening this container. So it's getting the environment, installing everything. So that's why I'm chatting with you. Oh, like I could go like this instead. Probably a mix, staying at home a bit, travel a bit, nearby places. That's good. That's good. Yeah, this weekend there's a kayak group that is close, and they do a bunch of activity, but sometimes they go far away and like they camp and stuff like that. And for me, that's one of the things I want to do, but it's harder to fit in the family schedule, let's put it that way. So but tomorrow they are going around, like, so it's only like 45 minutes of drive to reach the starting point, and they are exploring an area of the Saint Lawrence that I don't know. So I was like, oh, that's cool, you know, because on Saint Lawrence you have like huge boat and everything, like it's the maritime entrance to Canada, so like there's a lot of things happening over there. So not being alone was great. And I think on Sunday we have like a dinner. My daughter will be 20, so we'll have like we invited a few friends, and we'll have like just like a dinner. Nothing like crazy. She's not 5, she's 20. But, you know, I'm assuming she won't party with her parents. She will be with her friends. Is a dev container running on your machine or in the cloud? Good question. So right now it is running on my machine. Initially, like, so there's multiple way to do that. The reason why I like dev container is you could go straight from GitHub, use the code space, and it will use this definition defined here in the dev container. And I was like, that's cool. So if someone else want to do that, they don't need to install anything. For example, when you work with a static web app, to have the tool inside Visual Studio that is really, really interesting, because you could debug and run and do so many things, then you need to install Node. And you need to install blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't want to install Node like on my Windows machine or something like that. So running in a container, everything is there. So that's cool, right? It takes care of everything. And the other reason was, like I was mentioning, like the screen you see there, that's a little laptop. I cannot show you now because there are so many cables attached to it. I don't want to lose it, but it's a super thin kind of notebook, not expensive, so not that powerful, but just to run this, it's enough. But if I want to run more stuff, I think it will get jaggy. So what I did, you can change in Docker. You could change the context, they call that. So you could, if you have Docker running on another machine, you could connect to that. So that's what I did, experiment that, and it was working very well. So then the container will be running on another computer, more powerful, like a tower in the house, and you could just like have your container running there. So you don't need to have it run it locally. It could be running in the cloud, like you mentioned, or it could be running in another PC. That was my initial plan. But right now I'm running locally. And the beauty of it is also it installs different tools that I need for that. I don't need to install that on my machine, so I keep my Visual Studio kind of clean with less extension. And in my container, I ask those extensions to be added. So let's say, for example, I want the Azure function tools and stuff like that. Then like I'm having it when I'm in the container, but externally I just have the markdown and like maybe some grammar stuff. Maybe not grammar on that laptop. I should, but maybe I didn't do it yet. Git lens, because that's now part of the GitKraken support. So I have like a full version of that. Though I'm still new at the capability of Git lens, but yeah. Okay, so now we have everything. So there's a little bit of change. 145 files. And I want to go in secret right now because I want to check a few things. Okay, that's cool. I want to explain after what I'm looking for right now. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So let me share. So here we have the local setting example file. So you need to be able to run locally. You need to have the version of that without the example. And usually you put an extra value, but why it's not there? It's supposed to be there. Come on. Come on. Oh no, I didn't put okay, yeah, I never set it up. That's why. Well, we need it if we want to test it, right? So let's go into the portal. And I need to go into the URL shortener. It's the URL data 7CW. That one. And now I will go back in the file in VS Code. So now let's yeah, let's do F2, no. How can I have, okay, voila. So now let's create a new file and we'll call that local settings. That one is part of the ignore, so it won't be part, like we won't push that version. So I want to copy this. Right, and now I need to have the Azure Web Job. No, I need to. Yeah, URL data storage. Is it what I have? No. I'm missing that. Okay. So I need this setting. So I'll be adding this. But I should also add that in the example since everybody needs it, right? Cool. I think connection string is one word like this. So now, I'm sorry, but I will hide partially like this because I want to go grab that from my browser and I think it will be showing up. So I'm keeping some secrets from you. I know it's bad, but yeah. So you're taking the first, you don't see it, but like usually you have key and connection string. That software worked with the connection string. Oh, and it was 2 words, so we'll change that. Okay, so going back here and I'm pasting that. It didn't work. Oh, can I paste it without? No. That's a strange design. So copy to clipboard and paste. There it is. Now it worked. Okay. Just want to hide that and I will show you. Boom. So it's a little bit small maybe. So here I need something to zoom also. Like I took note last time. I need to find a tool to zoom. I think it was you, Gordon, was saying you're using Linux. Do you have something that zoom? Like if I want to zoom an area of the screen, I use Zoom It, though I didn't search on Linux what I have. So anyway, so like what I was saying, there's the key and there's the connection string. So once you do show key, you have a little clipboard button like this. So you copy that, and that's the value you will be copy pasting into your code, and replacing this value here. So now that I have that, I think I could just F5 and it will work. Is it? Doesn't look. Yeah, okay, this is started. And I wish I saw a terminal or something. Okay, if I do F5, it just do this, but it doesn't do anything else. Or maybe if I need to do a SD. I forgot how to do it. CD SRC. And that I can try to build it at least. Right? We can start by that. I use Linux on a Raspberry Pi. Oh, at work? That's your work environment? I've Unity which can zoom. Ah. Okay, so it build. If I do a .NET run, will it start my let's try it. Will it start my Azure function? No, huh? It should do. Maybe because it's too far away. I thought it will work. I don't know why the maybe because I'm not using the good one. Attach to .NET function. Let's try that and play. Spinning. Doesn't look like it's doing anything, right? You see the little blue bar here is just kind of a... What was the name of that car in the Knight Riders? Kit? In French it was Kit. It was just like zoom, 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 zoom. I'm probably too old, so nobody knows what I'm talking about. That was an old TV show called Knight Rider, but in French it was called K2000. But okay, let's stop that. Okay, so doesn't... Do I have funk? I have funk. Maybe just so many things pop up, I don't know. Maybe that's... Sign out and reload. Well, nope. Well, it compiles, so it should work. Anyway, we are in a... Oh. What's happening? Oh, so it just took forever. Interesting. So now if I do API, then... what was it again? It was URL redirect and then project. Yeah, it's working. Okay, it was just very, 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 very low, slow. Key 2000. So Pascal, speak French, everybody, because it was only called K2000. For the French people, the Canadian. I'm not even sure I was translate for the France people. Maybe it was just called Knight Rider. So I shouldn't have fun of them. Okay, so it's working. That's cool, right? Oh, that's cool. Quebec thing. I didn't even know the bouncy stuff. That's funny. Cool. Close that one. Close that one. Okay, so let's just have a quick... So that's cool. So now we have the code in this version. So next time I will make sure I have the tooling, because like I see the time flying. Next time I think... we'll be working a bit more on the dock. So now we move the code. We know it's working. And I just want to make sure that our... See, the local setting example is there, but not our version, because the git ignore flushed that. We cleaned up a bunch of stuff. Cool. Excellent. So let's go back and GitKraken. We'll stage everything. Summary. Major cleanup into the code. is working. Yay! Okay, so now I'm pushing that. And no, I'm committing and now I'm pushing. There it is. There it is. Wow, it's 1 a.m. Time for bed. Well, Gordon, see you next time. We're about to wrap up anyway. It was nice to see you. Do we have enough people to maybe ride someone? That would be nice. You know. Don't leave right now. Everyone is leaving. No! So yeah, so we have now our version. If we refresh that, we have V3. Yeah, we have V3. We still have a lot of work to do, but we'll make sure that for the user, it's simple to use. That was a good stream. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I like it in 5 minutes. Okay. Who land? Pascal land. That's awesome. This is awesome. Stream. Let's try to see who is there to ride. Rate the channel. Oh, C# Fritz is there. So let's join C# Fritz. What do you think? I think it's good. Not sure if he's been streaming for a long time, but we'll do that. So send him some love, Cloudies, and next time I will see you next Friday. It's the new rule. Have a good weekend. Bye bye, everybody.